What is the hidden cost of using AI? Well, it could be higher utility costs with electric and water, among other things. So today we're going to talk about 4 ways as an investor you can help save money on your utilities and outsmart the others. And the utility cost as a multifamily owner are, of course, an important consideration. They generally make up between 10 and 18% of a property's operating expenses. So it's very important to be aware of them. But even more important is the fact that if our utility costs are going to increase, it's very important to get ahead of that increase to make sure you, as a investment property owner, do not end up losing at the end of the day. So here's 4 things that you should watch in regards to each one of the utilities. So number 1, electric. Of course, most people know that apartment owners usually have their own separately metered electric, but there's, of course, a common area expense for most multifamily owners that they end up paying. And there can be a big benefit right now with any multifamily owners that install solar. So recently, with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act reduction this summer, the solar investment tax credit is beginning to be sunsetted, but for a commercial installation, which would be larger apartment buildings, you have until the end of 2027 to install solar. Now, why does this matter? You can get a 30% credit, not deduction, credit for the cost of solar that you install. And then, of course, when you add in 100% bonus depreciation on top of that, you as a multifamily owner could benefit from some pretty significant tax savings and not only offset the cost of installing it, but then also your electric expense for any common area expenses. If you have a laundry room that your tenants use and that you pay for the electric costs for, parking lot lighting, all that stuff. So consider installing solar before the chance goes away in 2027 as a way to offset those increasing electric costs. Number 2, gas. Now, gas, thankfully, in this area is pretty economical. And for the property owners who are paying gas, one of the best things you can do is to make sure that whatever equipment you have running on gas that you're paying for, whether that's a hot water boiler, could be a hot water heater for the water in the building, whatever that is, make sure that you have modern systems in place, because the more modern boilers, hot water heaters are much more efficient than the older versions. So having it be much more efficient will naturally reduce your cost over time. So that's the important one to keep in mind as far as gas. And then, of course, if you're paying for hot water heating for your tenants, making sure that common water conservation measures are in place, like putting in low flow faucets on showers and sinks and that type of stuff, will help to offset that hot water heating bill for you as well. The third one, in water and sewer. Now, water and sewer is an interesting one because in some municipalities, it's totally run by the municipality, and in other areas, it's more common that the water may be a kind of a private water company that's providing the water, but sewer pretty much most of the time is a municipal cost. So with water, one of the biggest conservation measures that you can do is to replace toilets, because toilets consume a lot of water, especially the older ones. If you replace them with a newer version, they use much less water, and that'll help to take down the water usage in the building significantly. Of course, low flow faucets, as we mentioned before, but something that you should be aware of is that, if you haven't already instituted it, is that because of today's technology, smart metering is incredible what it can do. So even if you're not able to break up the utilities in the building and have the water very carefully separately metered to each tenant, today's smart meter can be installed at each location where a water, say a sink, a toilet, a shower is located, and it can monitor the usage. So not only does this enable you then to pass on usage to the tenant, but it also is incredibly effective in detecting leaks, which can really take away a huge amount of your water cost if there's a toilet running for a long time and so on. So monitoring the water usage with smart water meters doesn't cost that much up front. Huge potential savings. That's an easy win for investors across the board. Now with sewer, in some areas, you're actually charged for the sewer based on how much water you're using. So the sewer goes the same way. You're reducing your water usage, you're going to be able to reduce the sewer as well. Not all the time. Some areas you're just charged a flat fee on a per unit basis for sewer. But in those areas where you're charged on usage, that can make a huge difference when you're also reducing the water as well. The fourth one is trash. Well, these rules really vary from municipality to another on these trash services as well. But if you have a commercial property, 5 units or more, a lot of municipalities will allow you to go out and contract with the trash service provider or shop providers. So instead of being captive to one provider, you can go out and shop multiple commercial providers and be able to get a much better deal that way. Or sometimes municipalities will allow you to actually have tenants, if it's a residential service, put the trash into their own name and pay that as well. So know what the rules are in your municipality and shop accordingly in order to save you, as the investor, a lot of money. So we're all going to continue to use AI. That's definitely not going away, and it's going to consume power. That's definitely a known. So make sure that you're on the forefront of conserving energy so that we can all benefit from the things that we want to benefit from in the power usage around us. I hope this video brought you some value. If so, please like, comment, and share. And if you're looking for investment properties in Pennsylvania or Maryland, please reach out to us. We're happy to help.